Hi, all. Jean here. Hi. How is everybody doing this evening? I am taking a walk outside. I want to take you guys to one of my favorite outdoor office, I am calling it now. And and today's topic is stop saying that it is too late, right? Stop saying it's too late. It's never too late. I know it's something that, we can't help saying, it's too late for this, and you cannot teach old dogs new tricks, and, all the things that they say to make us feel like we cannot do the things that we want to do. It is very beautiful outside today, and I may be turning my camera here and there so you guys can see me. And I apologize. I feel like I'm shouting and I'm outside and there's a lot of people on the path. So you guys going to have to forgive me with that because from time to time I may stop talking because I really don't like to be talking around people, and I don't have I lost part of my mic. So now I have to get myself a new mic, or at least, hello, hi, or at least buy the attachment that I have lost. And it's going to take too much time coming with Amazon. So I may have to go into the city and either get one from the city or something like that. But we shall see. In the meantime, I am out here still talking to you guys, and I can make excuse and say, I don't have a GoPro, but I'm out here and I am doing my thing. I'm doing what I say I'm going to do, and I am actually making it not too late for that, right? So you guys can just walk with me over here and enjoy this beautiful path that we are walking on and this beautiful day. It's going to take me a few minutes before I get down to where I consider it to be my office. Um, but it's a nice little walk along. And I have taken you guys out here before. So in the meantime, there is, I have always wanted to do this YouTube channel, but I have made so many excuses. I think I have made all the excuse in the book because one of the excuses was it is too late. I am too old. I I have nothing to say. No one is going to look at my channel. I need to be, find some um different cream maybe for my face. All the things, all the reasons why we stop ourselves. And I think the biggest one always comes up to we don't know what to do, or we don't know how to do what we want to do. And we are ashamed because we should have done that a long time ago. And all those things that we make excuse of doing, and we don't do the things that we want to do. So the question I have for you is, if not now, when? When are you going to do the thing that you really want to do, but you're using the excuse that it is too late for you to do it? So I've seen my spot. Do you see my spot here? That is the walk. That is my spot on the walk. So I'm going to sit here and chat with you guys because it's going to be less distracting. And I found a little path that you can walk up to go and sit there, and it's more quiet. And I'm calling it, as I tell you guys, I'm calling that my outdoor office for now. And so I have to change and put this stand in. So you're gonna have to bear with me for now, because I'm gonna need to put it standing. And I encourage you to enjoy the view behind me while I set up my tripod, right? Yeah, enjoy the view while I set up my pod. And yeah, let's set it up right about here. And there we go. Just pull it up. How is that? Yeah. Or we can pull it down some more, because then now, let me see. Yeah, you can see all of me here for sure. And welcome to my outdoor office. Oh, God, it is so nice out here. And oh, I'm just hoping that I'm not too far away from the camera and you can hear me, because it's the best spot. I cannot wait until I get the attachment for my mic so that we can do this together. And I don't have to sit and shout, or I don't have to be right up inside of the camera. So the whole thing is that, as I say, we're going to talk about stop saying that it is too late. Stop it, right? I want you to stop it right now. So I'm going to tell you a story about. So I got divorced in 2014, and within, well, by the time I was separated, it wasn't even 6 months between the time that I'm separated and the time that my ex-husband already found somebody, and was on the trip to be married someone he just met. As a matter of fact, he went the same year. It was not even, we I left in September, October, November. um was it Thanksgiving? It was like by Thanksgiving the man was off and running somewhere in the Philippines to find someone. But I digress, because that's not the story that I want to tell. I'm just saying that to say, so mainly when I got separated, I'm the one that left. But I always say it doesn't really matter who left, we still have work to do. And so I had a lot of healing to do, not seeking, but healing. So at the end, about a year after my separation, I went home to Grenada for a holiday. And if this is your first time watching my channel, I live in Canada. I live in the Canadian Rockies. Right now, I am in Kenmore, Alberta, which is right next to Banff, Alberta, Canada National Leading Park, which is where I work. And I've been working there for now. This is going to be my 12th year. But anyways, I went down in December of 2015. So it was about a year after my separation. And I wanted to spend time healing and enjoying the ocean, swimming and catching up with my family and my mom and, all the things, right? And anyway, I end up running into, and I don't know if you can call it run into, because this man, he is my neighbor, but he's younger than I am. Actually, he's 15 years younger than I am. And I've never shared this story, and I'm sure sharing it with you today. So I was coming out of my house, and he is someone that I've known all my life, kind of literally. He was just somebody that I've known for a long time. Our family know him. He's a family friend. And when I say that he lives across the street from where I'm living, I actually mean that he lives across the street from where I'm living. So it's somebody that I've known, but actually I didn't know him as an adult. And so when I came out of my house, me and a friend, and we were just walking past his house, and he was outside with some friends. And I have to tell you, when I saw him, I thought, oh my God, who is that? I couldn't even make out who this man was. He was so gorgeous. Anyways, long story short, I started to see him. And And that first year, nothing really happened. We became friends. I said hello, and he said hello, and we were having a big party that year for a friend of mine's. She always have her party in the Caribbean, and we were actually having the party upstairs, the house he was living in. So it was just so amazing to not distracted. It's just that there's some people with some dogs right in front of me, and they seem to be standing there watching me like whatever. Anyways, and plus, I'm kind of something to look at because I'm a black woman living out here in a very white world, so I get kind of people looking at me sometimes. Alrighty, that is not part of this video. Anyways, uh, anyways, so we had a party, and my friend had a party, and the party was upstairs his house, the house that he's living in. The house have tree unit. There's upstairs, middle floor, and a bottom floor, and he lived on the bottom floor, and we had rent out the top floor, and we were having a party, and I invite him, and he came to the party, and we just talk, and I hang out with him. We make out a little bit like we were school children. I mean, I'm already 15 years older than him, but at the time you couldn't tell. I mean, now you probably can tell. So that was like, now it's actually 16 years already since that moment, since I've met him. Yeah, I met him in 2015. 15 and 5. No, it's 11 years. Sorry, since I reconnected with him. 11 years. This year, I think it's 11 years. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Sorry. There I go with mathematics is not my strong subject. Anyways, I really hope that this is coming along. I'm going to listen to it to hear how the song effect is. Um, so I started, I saw him in 2015. We hook up as friends. Nothing seriously happened. And then I went back to the island in 2016, a year later I went back December of 2016. And this time, my mom had turned 80. We went to my mom's birthday party. And then me and him kind of hook up. And this time we really kind of hook up. And but I didn't really stay long in Grenada. I may have spent about 7 or 8 days. So it was a short visit, and I came back. But I'm saying all of that to say I went back to Grenada in 2017, and then I saw him in 2018, and then I didn't go in 2019, and then 2020 the pandemic happened, but I went back. Um, in 2021, and I spent quite a number of months. I spent about 5 months there, and then I went back again. Yeah, I said 2021 until 2022. I didn't go in 2023. I went back in 2024. Anyway, my point is I've been this young man has been my this man has been my lover for was 10 years. And, I'm saying that because I'm speaking about it's not too late to really do the thing, and I've always, here and there thought of, getting, bringing them to this, like taking them with me when I return to Canada. But I never really did anything about it because I thought, nah, it's too late. I am older, he's younger than I am, and I am older than he is. And what would people think? And what would they say? And, who am I to do that? Whatever. I was just not interested in any of the naysayers. Plus, I used to do this thing when I go to Grenada. I'm there, and when I'm there, he's my lover. But when I return from the time I take the plane to arrive back to the country that I'm living in this country, I usually just cut off all ties. So I did that for 10 years. I would go, I would see him, and then I would come back, and plus I may say on the side at some point, there was somebody else in his life for a little bit there, and I'm not, going to talk on that because I don't know much about that. It's whatever that was. But anyways, I would go and I would see him and I would come back, and But finally, last year I was there, and that is in 2025. I was there in 2024. And yeah, I went, yeah, 2024, and I spent 5 months there. I went down since October and I stayed for a number of months. And I kid you not, one day I got up, and as I mentioned before, I live across the street from where he lives, so he's just living next door. But I was doing this program with Landmark. I don't know if you guys ever heard about Landmark. I don't want you guys to call me and tell me or message me and say that, whatever you guys think about it. If you have been a Landmark graduate, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you don't, and you're speculating about what you think other people know. But I know this for sure. Landmark is one of the best program I've ever taken, especially when it comes to, encouraging. Like, they don't really tell you how to live or give you information. You have to figure that out on your own. But in figuring it out on your own, part of it is that you understand how you have to create and live your own life. Nobody else can do that for you. And life is to be created 100%. Like, you can create the life that you want anytime, anyway, no matter what your age is. As a matter of fact, one of the women in my leadership program, she was in her 80s, and she actually, it was so inspiring to watch this 80-year-old do the things and doing it better than the rest of us, and she became a candidate, and now she's inside of Landmark doing, doing all the things. And wow, like, what an amazing inspiration that woman is. She wakes up every day and do her thing. So coming back to my this, doing the program and being in Grenada at the all at the same time. And finally, one day and plus I'm very deeply spiritual. Like, very, very much so. I don't just, take things for granted, or however that is. But something happened where I had declared a few years ago that I am not going to live with regret. So the way that I do that is that not living in regret means that if there is something that I feel like I wanted to do, or I had hoped to do, um, I would do it. And it doesn't matter whether I fail or I succeed at it, because I got to understand that failure has nothing to do with me. Failure has to do a lot with the performance. And sometimes it is not failure. Sometimes it is we start doing it and realize, like, like I went to university for a year. I did 2 semesters and realized that I didn't want to be in that environment. It was too intense and too cutthroat, and I really didn't know how to live inside of that environment. So I just left. But I haven't regretted that. I would have regretted if I didn't apply and I didn't go to university. So that is just an example of, not living with regret. Do the thing and screw that. If you fail at it, that's not what you're supposed to. The most important thing is that you take the leap, right? Because if you don't take the leap, then that's where you have the regret. You didn't try. You didn't take the leap. You didn't even try to see if that's what you wanted or that's not what you wanted, right? So that's the thing about it's never too late, to start doing what it is you want to do, because do it now. Because you have, I personally say all the time, I have less years in front of me than I have behind me. But when I look back at the trail and the lessons and what I've learned, and I know what I'm talking about because I have lived it, I have learned it, I've lived it. So I'm not just talking, and this is, yes, it is my personal experience, but I have lived it. So anyway, one day I came out from my house, and it came into my spirit that I need to ask this man to marry me, because um not necessarily just to marry me, because I got to, there's a disclaimer here. I love my independence. I love being independent. I love everything about my life, even on my worst days, even on my bad days, even on the days when I don't know what to do, even on the days when I'm feeling stuck, even on the days when I know that I need to ask for help, even on the days when I wake up in the morning and I have to clear my mind. And those are a lot of days, almost every single day. It's a brand new day to get up and clear the cobweb of the night before, of the old stuff that wants to come in and trouble you in some kind of a manner, right? So those are the things. So, anyways, I decided like I wanted to take him with me. One, because I really do love him as a human being, as a person. Two, because I really care about him. Three, if you have never really lived in the Caribbean, then there's not much I can tell you about that. You kind of get stuck doing the same thing without having like it's very hard to be sometimes ambitious. It's very hard to grow. And I wanted to see this person do something different with their life. And I just thought, well, I am in a position where I can do that. Hello, hi. I'm in a position where I can do that. So why not? Why not? It is my outdoor office. I'm in my outdoor office right now. Yes. Yeah. So anyways, just getting distracted because there's people walking on the path. So, anyways, I just thought, the main thing that came up for me, the main thing that came up for me that make me do it, is I recognize it wasn't too late. I was there healthy, having really good, nice, loving time with this person, really amazing loving time. This person is my best friend, and I want to see him succeed with, and I wanted to be in support, like if you like, this man needed a support system, and I wanted to be his giant. I wanted to be that person for him. So the way there's many ways you can get someone from one place to the next, but I just thought I'm just gonna ask him to marry me and then lay my cards out on the table, just because I don't want to live with regret. And because I knew that it's not too late for me or him. And for me, it's a year later now, to be honest with you. It's a year later now. We have been married now a year and a full month, because we married last year, January. I was 62 at the time, and he is 48 now, right? So you do the math. I'm not going to do the math for you, but I do. And to be honest, could I tell you that I don't, have sometimes my own securities, because I feel like, oh, I'm so much older, or, sometimes I have the thought, I wonder what people would think. And all these thought process, I still have them, but did I let it stop me? you know did I let it stop me? No, I didn't let it stop me, from living, from being, from enjoying love at a time in my life where I wasn't expecting that, for enjoying someone else, companionship at a time in my life where I wasn't expecting that. As a matter of fact, if you had told me this the day before I put myself, the day before I asked him to marry to me, if you had tell me this, if you had said to me the day before that, I would be like, what are you talking about? You have lost your mind. That is never going to happen. But as I mentioned, what happens is I wake up that particular day, and inside of my spirit, it says, do not live with regret. Do not stop yourself from doing something that would bring you joy and happiness, whether it's in the moment, whether it's for a year, whether it's for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. The whole truth of the matter is, it doesn't really matter, no matter, it does matter in the sense of, but no matter how long it lasts, the bottom line is I am not attached, right? I am not attached. Like, we live our life, and I think that is something too that really stop us from really, that is a reason why we get stopped. We have this attachment. If I do X, Y have to happen. And if Y doesn't happen, I cannot do X. But because I don't know if Y is going to happen, I am not going to do X because I don't know the outcome of Y. Let go the attachment, leave the attachment alone. And I think that is the downfall of many of us in this lifetime. We go through things attached to it with expectation. Attachment and expectation is going to just, I married this man because, as I said, I didn't want to have regret. As a matter of fact, no, I didn't. Those are not even the reason why I marry him. I marry him because he said yes. I didn't hold a gun to his head. I didn't do any of that. He said yes. He was ready. He wanted all of what I had to offer. And he said yes, and that's the thing. And if he had said no, I would have been as just where I am. I'm not right now feeling good about myself. I would have been in the same space feeling good about myself because two things would have happened. One, I would have known that I did something and I share my heart where my heart was at the time. So I knew that if asking for me means that either way, yes or no, I was not going to be living with regret. And because if he had said no, I would have known that I already put myself out there. I took the leap. And that yes or no would have been yes to me anyway. I see life that way because when I pray and I ask God for anything at all, I usually also understand the answer could be yes or it could be no. But either way, for me, the answer is a yes because I'm understanding that. If I call you and I say to you, um, can I borrow X, Y, or Z, or can I borrow some money? And you say no. To me, that is a yes, and there is a reason for that. And for instance, if my other friends say yes, then there is a yes. There's, I see things as the way, not that the way it's supposed to be, because a lot of the time we don't know exactly how things supposed to be. We are all just figuring it out as we go along. But I can honestly tell you, if you release the attachment to things, and the expectation you have of things, then life is going to be so much more easier. So me asking him, I had no expectation or no attachment to the answer to this question. I have none, no attachment and no expectation to that question. What I did know for sure is that I didn't want to have regret in my life, so it was important for me to do it. And but I would have gotten on that plane either way, and I would have been feeling good about myself because I did the thing. I took the leap. I jumped off, and so how it's going to look and be in the future, that is something that me and him is going to do together, or that is something even for myself, I have huge awareness as to who I am. So however that the relationship turned out, I know this person is going to always be a friend of mine on this level here. And I also know that, it's a possibility I might be the person that says, I don't want this anymore, or however it is. But my point to this is, stop saying that it's too late for you to live your life or for you to do something. I'm giving you permission right now to go out and tell the person you care about them, share who you are with your neighbor, ask the lady that you always wanted to be friends with, the one in yoga, ask her out for a tea, make a new friend, build a new business. You are not dead yet. We are doing this until we cannot do it anymore. As long as we are breathing and we have life inside of us, we don't go wrong saying that it's too late. It's a waste of time. It's not any fun. Hello, hi, how are you? And yeah, so in saying that, so do the things that you want to do and stop saying that it is too late. As I say, I'm giving you permission to nix that in the bud. And I hope you enjoy my channel today and I hope you enjoy my video. Um, I am in 100 days. Well, I'm not at 100 day yet, but I make a commitment to do 100 days of YouTube, and I am doing it. I'm doing it without my mic. I'm doing it on my phone. I don't have an what do you call it? A GoPro, which is, I would really love a GoPro. I'm open to gifts. yeah, I'm open to gifts. Leave me a message or yeah, I'm open to having gifts. So I would really like to have a GoPro. I want to have my mic and hopefully, really learn how to. I need to make learning how to edit more exciting because I feel like I'm not good at editing, and so I'm not learning very well. Editing to me remind me of doing mathematics, and my brains do not operate that way. And so, but I'm not making an excuse. I am going to try it. I'm going to give it a good old try, and if it doesn't, if it, I just, it's not for me, then I'm going to figure it out. But s- um what I'm going to leave with you today is to do less, be more of who you are, and subscribe to my channel and share this with your friend. Share this with your older friend. Share this with your mom. Share it with your dad. Share it with your mom. Share it with your grandparents as well. Share it. Share my content. Share my video. Um, just me here today in my outdoor office, which I'm actually quite loving my outdoor office because I get to see people running, I get to see people hiking, I get to see people walking, I get to see people enjoying the weather, and I get to talk to you. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I am going to sign off. Have a good one.